avenged.
And behold, here come your kin.
My lord.
It would appear that you have done our work for us, Belaram.
Not I, Lord Gwaihir. Your thanks belong to these three. Andriel, Farin, and Eridan. It is they who rid us of Baghrasar.
The same three that saved you at Fornos.
Indeed. A remarkable chance that we should meet again.
If chance it was. Your fates seem strangely intertwined. But be that as it may, we are doubly grateful to you. First for saving the life of Belaram, and now for slaying the giant.
We are happy to have been of service, but we are seeking a servant of the Dark Lord, a man called Agandaur. Have you any word of him?
Belaram has told us of that one, but we do not know where he can be found.
Are there more of these stone giants threatening your people?
There are other giants, certainly, but none that we would consider an enemy. Baghrasar was ever inclined to mischief, and was shunned by his own folk. Yet I never thought him capable of murder. He must have been persuaded to undertake these actions. Agandaur may well be responsible for that, but I fear that you have come too late. We have searched the Ettenmoors thoroughly in our hunt for Baghrasar, yet we have seen no sign of this servant of the Dark Lord. If he was here, we can be reasonably certain he is here no longer. My people will work to disperse the enemy forces that remain in the moors. We will be on guard against the return of Agandaur.
Then we'd best head back to Rivendell. Elrond will be wondering about us. We've already been gone too long.
I will arrange for a messenger.
My lord, I owe my life to these three. And I too believe Agandaur to be a grave threat to the free peoples of the North. Eagles no less so than any other. If you would grant me leave, I wish to accompany them and aid them in their quest.
You ask a great deal, Belaram. I may have need for all my followers soon. Yet I perceive a great destiny awaits these three, and it seems you are now part of it. Very well. I will grant you permission to join with them for as long as you see fit.
Unless Belaram plans to carry his friends like sheep in his talons, he will need help. If it pleases you, my lord, I will gladly accompany them as well.
I too have a stake in this quest. Let me be the third.
So be it. Three who cleave the air to match three who walk the earth. May fortune favor you all. Arminel, Baranthor, you shall be at Belaram's command. Obey his word until such time as you return to us. Now I must depart. Many forces are at work across Middle-earth, and many events take shape. I must consider what part the Eagles will play in them.
We are grateful for your aid, Lord Gwaihir, and your trust. Farewell.
You return at last. We grew concerned for you. I fear you have missed your chance to say farewell to the members of the Fellowship, for they have departed. Clearly you found danger in the Ettenmoors, yet you have returned safely, and in the company of three of the Great Eagles, no less. There is a story behind this, and I am eager to hear it.
We found trolls and orcs preparing for war, just as we feared. And they were led by a renegade stone giant.
He made war on the Great Eagles.
But with the Eagle Belaram's help, we managed to put an end to him.
That was well done, but this is troubling. Why would a stone giant act in this manner? They have never been hostile to free folk before.
We found these tokens on some of the slain.
Some of them bear the Black Raven emblem of Agandaur.
Then we can be certain he is behind the giant's descent into evil. But there are also other tokens here I recognize. These are the marks of the orcs of Mount Gundabad, far to the north.
What can you tell us of Mount Gundabad?
It is a great peak that stands far to the north, at the meeting point of the Misty Mountains and the Grey Mountains. Once, Gundabad was a delving of the dwarves, but it was abandoned long ago. It has since become a stronghold of the orcs. It would be hard-pressed to find a more dangerous location in all the north.
Then orcs are gathering to Agandaur's banner from all across the north. Rivendell may well be their target.
I fear you are correct. We have made plans for our defense, but truthfully, our best hope lies in eliminating the threat of Agandaur.
If the orcs of Mount Gundabad are serving Agandaur, perhaps we can find him there.
It may well be. From Mount Gundabad, the orcs have many tunnels and secret pathways connecting the hidden mines and orc holds of the Misty Mountains. The orcs can move along those routes in great numbers without being seen. If Agandaur is raising an army to fight for his master in the north, it is certain he will have traveled to Gundabad. The evidence you have uncovered confirms this to be so, but we have no way of knowing if he is there still.
Maybe not, but it's not like we have many more choices, other than to sit waiting for Agandaur to strike first.
To walk into such an orc-infested pit as Mount Gundabad would seem like folly, but you have proven your skill and daring many times over. And too, you have the eagles to aid you. It may be that you will find a way to take the enemy by surprise. It is certain that, were you to destroy Agandaur, you would cut the heart from Sauron's plan to make war in the north.
But what of Frodo and his quest? Is there nothing more we can do to assist him?
That die is cast. We must abide the consequences, for good or ill. There is nothing more we here can do but to look to our own defense.
How will you do that?
We will continue to plan for the defense of Imladris. The enemy will not find us unprepared. I will send warnings to such allies as we have. There is strength to be found in Imladris still, but in truth, you three may be our best hope.
Then we should be on our way. We travel to Mount Gundabad.
Your courage is commendable, but be certain you are well prepared. Mount Gundabad will not be forgiving of the unwary. Farewell. May the stars shine upon your path.
Welcome back, Eradan. I saw you arrive, and I must say, it made for a fine sight. We have something in common now, my friend. We are among the few who can claim to have ridden on the back of an eagle, although I'm sure you enjoyed your journey more than I. Truthfully, I found the whole experience rather terrifying.
How was it that you came to be carried by an eagle?
Oh, well, it's a long story, really. There we were, 13 dwarves, 1 wizard, and 1 rather frightened hobbit, perched in the treetops, trying to hide from an army of wolves and goblins. They sniffed us out soon enough and set fire to the trees. It would have been the end of us all right there, had the King of the Eagles not led his people to our rescue. I was grateful to be saved, of course, but to this day I still feel a bit dizzy whenever I think about that wild flight.
Well, don't spread it about. But I too found the experience a little frightening at first, though I tried my best not to let it show.
Come now, I can't believe that even flying would give a moment's pause to one brave enough to fight with giants. Oh, yes, I've heard all about your adventures in the Ettenmoors. Everyone in Rivendell is talking about it. I've seen stone giants with my own eyes. It's beyond me how you managed to get the better of one.
You contended with giants?
Well, contended is not the right word. It was more like trying my best not to be accidentally trod upon. Frankly, I'm surprised a giant would make war upon us in this way. The ones I encountered seemed caught up in their own affairs and not the least bit concerned with me or my companions.
In this, we see the hand of Agendour. I'm certain it was he who corrupted the giant.
Agendour again. Oh, I don't like hearing about that one. Especially when I think about places like Bree or the Shire. It seems like there is so little to stand in his way.
We stand in his way. And we intend to find this cur of Sauron and deal with him once and for all.
I believe you will find a way to do that, my friend. You have certainly made a good start by thwarting his plans at Fornost and the Ettenmoors. You know, someone should be setting down this story of yours. It's certainly worthy of being remembered. I do have my own book to finish, but perhaps when that's done. Maybe you should give me an account of your adventures. I'll take notes, and one day I can write your story. What do you say to that?
It would be an honor to have our story recorded by so worthy a chronicler.
Very well, then. Why don't you start at the beginning?
It began some weeks past at the Sarn Ford. And so, with the giant dead, the great eagles joining our cause, we returned here to Rivendell to inform Elrond of all we had learned.
Outstanding! What a riveting tale! There is enough there to fill a volume or two already. I just hope I managed to get it all straight. I tried to take good notes. You really must come back later to let me know how it's progressing.
I shall, if time and fortune allow. Now, I should be on my way. Farewell.
Gundabad awaits us.
I was surprised that Gwaihir gave you leave to come with us. From what I am told, he rarely intervenes in the affairs of those who walk upon the ground.
It is true. Gwaihir thinks first of the safety of his own kind, and he is more likely to take a dangerous task upon himself than to send another. He sees us as observers, watching from high above, but holding aloof from the affairs of the earth. He feels we should bear information, not burdens. Even now, the Wind Lord is considering what part the Great Eagle should play in the events that lie before us, though there may be little time left to ponder such things.
Have we put you at odds with Gwaihir by helping us?
I have served Gwaihir loyally for a long time, and he, in turn, has the wisdom to trust my judgment. He knows that I have chosen the wind I must fly upon, and my choice is this. I can no longer stand apart. I must act. Even an eagle must rest upon an area that has its roots in the earth. We cannot entirely escape the ground, and the fate of elves, men, dwarves, and even hobbits will ultimately be our fate.
Your friends were eager to offer their services. Perhaps they do not fully appreciate the danger. What can you tell me of them?
Armanel is a seasoned warrior. He knows full well what he faces, and accepts it gladly. Baranthor is young, and eager to prove himself. But he has deep courage, and few can match his swiftness on the wing. But you need not take my word. Ask them yourself. They will gladly speak with you if you so desire.
We ask a great deal of you to carry us into such danger. Perhaps we ask too much.
I believe this is the time when all who care for the fate of Middle-earth must act. From on high, I see many lands and many people beneath my wings. In my own way, I am a steward of the North. In this hour, I will join with those who are bold enough and strong enough to stand against the likes of Agandar. For if we fail, there may be nothing left to watch over.
We are deeply honored to have the friendship of the Great Eagles, and especially one as noble as you, Belleron.
It is I who am honored. I am pleased to find such friends in these dark times. You may depend on me to the end, whatever that may be. Call upon me without hesitation. We stand ready to bear you to Gundabad.
What should we expect when we reach Mount Gundabad?
I can tell you little. The stronghold of Gundabad is carved into a great mountain peak covered in snow and ice. We rarely fly that far north because of the treacherous winds and blizzards that howl from the frozen wastes beyond. It is an ancient abode of enemies, and we must approach it with the greatest caution.
Have we any chance then to carry out this mission?
3 alone cannot hope to stand against all the orcs of Gundabad. Only stealth will serve you. We must search out a secret way that will not pit you directly against your foes, or you will stir up a hornet's nest such as you cannot imagine. I have seen you 3 triumph against desperate odds. If you cannot find a way, then no one can. My companions and I will be there to help as best we may, but once you enter the confines of Gundabad, there will be little that we can do.
We will keep that in mind. Farewell for now.
It is a fine day for flying, don't you think?
Are you kin to Belleron?
No, but he has always guided me. Belleron taught me tricks of the air and secrets of the wind. We often hunt together. He's shown me the fine art of snatching a wild sheep from the side of a mountain, and how to dive upon a wolf and pluck hairs from its tail. Wherever Belleron leads, I will follow.
Great eagles were not meant to carry burdens, Baranthor. I would not have you continue to carry us against your will.
I am more than willing. I had long begged the Windlord for a chance to prove myself. I don't fear orc, goblin, or troll. Let's return to the air and put fear into the hearts of our enemies. It is a grand adventure.
Are you one of the eagles who helped Bilbo Baggins in his quest?
I haven't met Bilbo, though I've heard much about him. My father was one of those who carried a dwarf, and later fought in the Battle of 5 Armies. I was considered too young and inexperienced to take part in the battle. I have much to do if I'm to match my father's fame and valor.
What do you know of Mount Gundabad?
I've never been there, but I know it's a high peak that lies far to the north, on the edge of the frozen wastes, and that it has long been infested with orcs. We do not nest there. When the north wind blows across the wastes, it racks the mountain with blizzards, driven by fierce gales. But I will not be daunted by the north wind.
I am grateful to you, Dunedain. Even our high areas were threatened by the giant Bargrasar. You have my thanks.
What can you tell me of your leader, Gwaihir?
Gwaihir is the Lord of the Eagles. He can outfly the North Wind, and his word is law. Long ages of the world have passed since ancient Thorondor, first and greatest of Eagle Lords, soared over Middle-earth. But Gwaihir is the mightiest descendant of that line. He is wise and sees much that others miss.
Flying upon an eagle's back is a rare privilege. I wonder why it is you volunteered for this task.
It was enough for me that Belaram wished to join you. But there is also this. One of the eagles the stone giant slew was my own father. You avenged him, and for that act alone I would bear any of you to the farthest ends of Middle-earth. And though Bargrasar is gone, I still burn with the need for vengeance against the master that sent him against us, Agandar. Your enemy is my enemy. I will not rest until he is brought down.
Were you one of the eagles that took part in the Battle of 5 Armies?
So I was, when the Allied armies found themselves set upon by goblins who had stealthily scaled the mountain slopes. I was among those who set upon the enemy and cast them from the cliffs to perish.
Are you ready for a long flight to Mount Gundabad?
We are strong and rested. Belaram awaits you whenever you wish to depart. He is our leader in this venture.
Eridan, it is good to see you once again. We were beginning to be concerned for you and your companions. And yet you return victorious, upon the backs of eagles no less. We are grateful to you for ending the threat of Bargrasar. The giant might have done great harm but for you. The trolls and orcs of the Etenmoors will be dismayed by his fall. They will be slow to march against us now.
What can you tell me of the stone giants?
They are mysterious creatures. Little is known of them, and little do they concern themselves with the affairs of other folk. Yet they were never thought to be wicked, nor are they counted among the servants of the enemy. Making it all the more strange that Bargrasar sought to make war upon us. I detect the hand of the Dark Lord in this.
Have you seen any sign of the enemy near Rivendell?
No true threat, but our wardens have slain a few goblins that strayed near. It may well be they were scouts seeking the location of Imladris. Wolves are also roaming in great numbers in the wild. These might be no more than simple beasts, but the enemy has used such spies before. We must assume the location of Imladris is a secret no longer.
Is Rivendell prepared for an attack?
As well as may be. This is not a fortress. Secrecy has always been our best defense. Still, an enemy would find the terrain difficult to deal with. And we have a few useful tricks to play, as the Nazgul learned when they attempted to cross the river. Yes, we might resist for a long while, but if the enemy comes in great numbers, it will only be a matter of time before Imladris falls.
All the more reason why we must rid ourselves of Agandaur, as soon as may be.
I am glad you are so eager to come to grips with the enemy. Yet do not abandon caution completely. You will find few places in the north more perilous than Mount Gundabad. I only wish we were free to accompany you.
What do you know of Mount Gundabad?
It was once a great world. It is certain to be teeming with enemies.
Is it so unusual for the Eagles to join with the Free Folk?
We have always counted the Great Eagles as allies and friends, but many men mistrust them and they have grown wary of dealing with other folk. They have been known to take counsel with certain of the wise upon occasion, yet they are their own masters and aid only those they deem worthy. Clearly you have made a strong impression upon them.
Their aid will be most welcome in our search for Agandaur.
I am glad you are so eager to come to grips with the enemy. Yet do not abandon caution completely. You will find few places in the north more perilous than Mount Gundabad. I only wish we were free to accompany you.
What prevents you from joining the hunt? Your swords would be most welcome.
Alas, our father has made it clear we are to... Such is our duty, and we will abide by it. Otherwise we would have...
I too would have willingly followed Aragorn. But you have fought to defend these lands for so long. Why would you choose to fight in southern realms?
For many reasons, not least of which is the friendship we bear for Aragorn. We have shared many hardships and perils together, as we did with his forefathers before him. We would stand with him when he achieves the quest for which so many generations of the Dunedain have striven. And so too would we be there with him at the bitter end, should all our hopes fail.
You make me wish we could all ride south at once.
We cannot think only of ourselves. We have a duty to our father and our kin. And what use would it be for Aragorn to gain the realm of Gondor, only to find the lands of Arnor reduced to ruin and ash behind him?
Yes, Aragorn is the heir to both Dunedain kingdoms. It is the hope of all my northern kin that we shall live to see Arnor restored, and these lands once more under the protection of the king.
Yet the armies and agents of the Dark Lord would see it otherwise. They will not rest until these lands lie under Sauron's heel, and all free folk are slain or enslaved.
I will not let that happen, even if I must shed the last drop of my blood to prevent it.
It heartens me to hear you say so. If you and your companions continue as you have begun, we truly have little to fear. Indeed. With you harrying the enemy across the whole of the north, the two of us will soon be on the road south.
I hope it will be so. Farewell.
Soon, or this winter may prove more deadly than the orcs. Take heart. We are nearly there, and this snowfall will hide us from the eyes of the enemy below.
Balram, look! Above the mountain!
Set us down! We can attempt to find a way into the mountain under cover of this storm. There is little chance of that, with those creatures keeping watch from above. Once we land you, my comrades and I will draw off the beasts.
Let's hope those flying beasts are too occupied with the eagles to notice us.
We can hope their eyes are less keen than those of our eagle friends. We may appear to be just a few more orcs among the hordes of Gundabad.
It's a sad day. I have to hope I'm mistaken for our
That must be it.
Do you fear the face?
war.